Hello and welcome to a video preview from GodIsAGeek.com. My name's Adam Cook and I'm joined by the person who has played the video game you are watching. It's the one and only Lyle Carr. Hello, Lyle.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm tentatively excited because having seen this game in motion, it has a striking art style and it looks lovely. One Piece Odyssey is what we're here to talk about. And the reason I say tentatively, and hopefully you can assuage or not my fears, is that previously these games have been, well, kind of Musu's, the One Piece games, but this one doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, Omega Force have made a lot of Musu games, so a lot of One Piece Musu games. So pretty much all the One Piece games in recent memory have been that. I think there's sort of like 4 or 5 of them at this point. But yeah, this game is not developed by them and is a fully fledged, JRPG with sprawl on a sprawling tropical island environment.
Turn-based, no less.
Turn-based, yes, a turn-based RPG at that. So yeah, your turn-based combat from what I played, I got to play about the first sort of like 2 to 3 hours. So a nice little chunk, but not. I've not seen loads of the game, but from what I played, the combat was it was very sort of standard in terms of like you'd have your characters would all have different abilities. Some would get abilities that attacked lots of enemies at once, and some would get healing, and all the early game RPG skills you'd expect. But the thing that is different about combat is it sort of takes place in different areas. So each battle has dedicated areas that characters are in, and you sort of move
Are these the
between them.
scramble area battles?
That's right.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the scramble area battle system. So yeah, you by using an attack, you can move to an area to help an attack on an enemy that's far away. You can move to an area to help out one of your friends that's there, and it's sort of random where everyone starts. So you have a party of 4, but you don't really know who's going to end up where. And then alongside that, there's sort of a triangle attack type system where you power beats speed and speed beats technique and stuff. So
blimey.
Yeah, so you have to sort of if someone starts in the wrong bit, you'll want to quickly either move someone over to help them, or you'll want to move the enemies with a move because that's something you can do. But it seems like a really interesting system. I have to admit, in the first couple of hours, battles weren't really hard enough that it felt like I had to think about it really. Like I could just sort of use my best moves and it'd all be fine.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because I was going to say how many characters are in a battle, but then the thing is that lots of games start with maybe 1 or 2 or 3, and you might end up having. So I don't know if it's anything you can talk to, but again, it's the same with the triangle system. A lot of games that do the tactics style thing start off, and you can just fine, I'm just going to hit you with a sword though. It's the depth that comes in later, isn't it?
In regards to the party size, though, I mean, you start with in this first few hours, I had 7 party members, and I can only take 4 into battle. Wow. So. Yeah, I can say that's the amount you have in a battle. You can switch them out mid-battle as well. So you can, if it works out, you can use your turn doing that to make sure that you've got the right people for the job. It's got all your favourite One Piece characters. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fountain of One Piece knowledge.
No, same. So if people want to get cross in the comments, by all means. But I know there's something to do with pirates, and one of them, he wears a straw hat, I think, and that's
the main one.
It's and to be honest with you, mostly because the previous games that I've noticed have been the Musu games, and it's not a genre I don't. But this, I say, it looks. People are watching as we speak, and they can see how nice this looks. I don't know. Is that going to change then? Do you think for you? Is this is it sort of left you wanting? Because I know obviously it's an anime as well, isn't it? And
yeah, see, I really like when animes get sort of quite big, RPG spin-offs. Really, it's something I've really enjoyed over the last few years with games
like Kakarot or something.
Like Kakarot, and Fairy Tail was really good. I think that was last year, and I just think it's always really interesting to see how they do these things, and usually they get pretty high name, big name developers to do them. I know Fairy Tail was Gust. I think this is. The developers of this worked on helped with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I think.
I was going to say the developer is either ILCA or ILCA. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but that absolutely rings a bell in terms of they've done something that I've played that's big.
Yeah, probably one of the Pokemon
I think
helping with
you're
one of the
right.
Pokemon games. Yeah, so like they're not a small name who haven't dealt with big games before.
I've just remembered it. I think they did the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
I
I
think that's
believe.
where I've played. Yeah, yeah. So is this their kind of, I don't want to say their breakout game because they've been involved in but is this their thing? Do you
It
think?
it looks like it. Yeah, they've. I was looking through their history, and from what I can tell, it seems like, especially recently, they've mainly assisted on bigger games over doing their own thing. And I think this looks like it could be, really
Mm,
successful. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think alongside the battles, which are certainly like, I'm interested to see how that system grows as the game goes on. The exploration of the island's really good as well. Like you're not just walking around sort of like barriered off areas. There's a lot of verticality to it. You've got a lot of different moves you can do to like break down walls, or Luffy's got a like he has like stretchy limbs and you can basically use them as a grappling hook. So you can get to out of reach places by sort of grappling around. And yeah, it was really fun to explore the world, and the world looks gorgeous. So
mm,
like I would like you can't get say much better than tropical setting. I was all in that regard really.
yeah. No, it does. It looks really colourful and bright, and well, I mean, it's out on January the 13th, 2023. Currently, that's when it's planned for. And that is kind of the month when you need that colourful, sort of vibrant, cheery title, that sort of, because it is a bit gloomy, certainly where we're from anyway. You can read Lyle's full preview over on godisageek.com. It does sound, Lyle, like this is one that could be an early. There's always a couple of games that hit early in the year that people sort of almost forget, but this sounds like it's certainly ticking all the right boxes so far for you.
It definitely does so far. Yeah, I think I'm definitely excited for it early next year. I think it's coming out at just the right time, like you say. I think it's beating a lot of games to the punch as well. Like if people want to buy a colourful game to get them through the start of the year, then it's going to be right there. And hopefully, when I've played more than a few hours, I'll be able to
Mm.
say even more glowing things about it.
Indeed, and it's one of those where I'm really glad I sort of looked at the footage and stuff before we talked, because I think I would have been guilty, like many maybe, that would have gone, yeah, okay, another Musu in One Piece, sure.
Hmm.
Doesn't seem that's the case. So yeah, go to godisageek.com and check out Lyle's full written preview. This is a video just to accompany it, a bit of a more open chat rather than the sort of structured preview that Lyle's written. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else, whatever's going on these days at godisageek. And of course, we have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/godisageek, where you can support us and get exclusive access to certain pieces of content. Lyle, thanks for your time, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
And if everyone else, I mean, hopefully this is going up in the right sort of time, but, happy holidays to everyone. I don't know if we'll do anything more before then. There'll be stuff, but for now, happy holidays. Bye-bye.